some cases more than that. So that requires, you can say, interest in the subject. This is what I usually recommend to my students.
What are the 3 mistakes that an aspirant should avoid while starting their UPSC preparation?
The most common mistake is accumulating a lot of resources. If you walk through any UPSC area, Lowell Rajendra Nagar, everybody is trying to sell you a book or material or something. What I have found is the more materials you buy, the less chances of you clearing the exam. Because today exam has become hyper competitive, and what matters now is, have you done adequate amount of revision? Whatever you studied, is it there in your head when you actually write exam? I recently actually found a research that suggested that basically advertisers have done this research. Let us split remembering into 2 parts. One is recognition and second is recall. Recognition means whatever you have seen before, you should be able to recognize, okay, I remember seeing this. And prelims is a recognition test because the answer isn't right in front of you. You just need to recognize, okay, I remember reading this in Lakshmikant, I remember reading this, you can say, in some textbook, and you'll be able to recognize it and answer it. And for recognition, you need around 4 to 5 exposure to the material to be able to recognize it. They've done a lot of research. You see a brand like washing powder Nirma and you have to recognize that in the shop, then you need to see that ad for 3-4 times. And if you have to recall the brand, if you have to ask in the shop exactly, I want Nirma, and you have to have that name in your mind, you need 8 to 10, you can say, exposures to the same name. And the same thing works here. The human brain is same, whether it is advertising or whether you are trying to recall something and write in mains. Mains, you cannot write well with 3 to 4 revisions. You need around 8 to 10 revisions of material to be able to write well in mains. So if you have to do 8 revisions, 10 revisions by the time of mains, then you need to stick to 1 or 2 materials for each subject. Beyond that, if you push, then it will create serious problems. This is first major mistake that students do. Second mistake is they don't write any answer or solve any MCQ until syllabus is over. You should start it from day one. Don't think that I have to write a perfect answer, I have to solve every question right. Start doing it. After a month, you start recognizing, okay, I can improve 1% here, 1% there. That is the right kind of approach. Then the third thing is thinking that, okay, if I study very well, 15 hours for 2-3 days, then I can take break for another 2-3 days. In entire UPSC journey, the most important thing is consistency. If you study only 6-7 hours a day, but you're absolutely consistent that there is, maybe you can say 95% of the time you have done this entire year, then your probability of clearing the exam is much higher. Because this is a game of skill. For example, consider a swimmer. If he swims 20 hours in a single day, swimmer A, and swimmer B, if he swims half an hour for 40 days, which swimmer do you think will be better off? Who has more skill? It will obviously be somebody who practices for 40 days for half an hour a day. So if you try to do everything at once, I won't be able to develop that kind of skill. So this consistency is third important thing. First is not too many materials, stick to 1 or 2. Second is solving MCQs and writing answers from day one. And third is maintaining consistency. If you're not doing this, then those are mistakes. Basically, if you want to prepare for UPSC, I think it is better to spend about 1 month to decide whether you want to actually get into this whole thing. Do some proper research, what it actually takes and how much effort it takes, how much time probably it takes. Majority of the students are just directly jumping in, and first day in class they know nothing about actually the exam also. So this is one thing you can avoid by doing a little bit of research and then getting into this whole thing, knowing what it actually takes, first thing. So then second thing, once you have taken this decision, then don't look back, just give your 100%, give your best and then a little more. Then only you can say compete with the kind of, you can say, neck to neck competition that exists. These are the 2 things that I'd like to tell to students.